Welcome everybody to another edition of TEW 2020 here in WCW 2003 as we continue our series as it says go home show for Clash of the Champions in August of 2003. So let's get rolling as we got 10,000 people here at the Spokane Memorial Arena. So we start out with our weekly pre-show match for the women as an abysmal match. Gail Kim, Lexi James, and Lacey defeated Beth Phoenix, Natty Denhart, and Amy Secure in 11:37 when Lacey pinned Beth Phoenix. This gets a 52. Amy gets a 50, Natty gets a 29, Beth Phoenix gets a 44, Lacey gets a 37, and both our normal heel women get a 54. Solid win, just to, get some, these women who are not exactly getting a whole bunch of in-ring time, some in-ring time. And then in our other pre-show match, a poor pre-show match, Mike Awesome, Sean Stasiak, and Kaz defeated Jason Jett, Dustin Rhodes, and Scott Taylor in 14:39 when Mike Awesome probably killed Scott Taylor with an awesome bomb. This gets a 68. Again, Taylor gets a 50, Dustin Rhodes gets a 66, Jason Jett gets a 60, Kaz gets a 66, Sean Stasiak gets a 59, and Mike Awesome gets a 70. Again, just some in-ring time for people who aren't really on the show tonight. And yeah, poor Kaz, who's so really stuck in no man's land, because I really don't have anything to do for him right now. But oh well, stuff happens. Anyway, this gets a 68. Let's move on to the opening show of the show, which is Eric Bischoff announcing the big main event tonight of basically the Deadpool of Vampiro Macias and Morningstar taking on Goldberg, Booker, and Chuck Palumbo. And this gets an 86. Just a straightforward promo of Bischoff from his desk backstage. And then we go to our opening tonight, which is going to be in a decent match. Yang and Ray defeated Jamie Noble and America's Most Wanted in 11:16 when Yang pinned Jamie Noble with a Michinoku Driver 2. This gets a 74. Again, straightforward show, straightforward back and forth, high flying match. The challenger for the Cruiserweight title goes over the champion, and as a result, also challengers for the tag titles get a big one. This gets a 74. AJ Styles gets a freaking 82. Eric Perez gets a 74. Yang gets a 59. Chris Harris gets a 68. James Storm gets a 69. And Jamie Noble gets a 64. And then the babyface is celebrating afterward gets a 63. And then we go backstage where RVD and Alex Wright talk about teaming up tonight. Wright says he has a lot of respect for RVD, and as he keeps his head straight, we can take the fight to the Horsemen. RVD says, "Don't worry about me, bro. Because I'm RVD, and there's nobody going to get in my way tonight." Gets an 82, fairly straightforward babyface promo. Let's try that again. And then we have a quick Angel Fox promo where basically puts over the fact that, she's a proud women's champion, and at Clash of the Champions, Amarillo just thinks that she has a whole stable behind her, that she's going to take the women's title off her. But, she has the fan support, and there's nothing, and, she's going to have to beat her 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring on her own. 46, not the best promo, but what can you do? Sometimes this stuff happens. Then we go in about that good heat and decent wrestling. Jeff Hardy defeated Lance Storm 11:20 by pinfall to Swanton Bomb. This gets a 67. Hardy gets a 72. Storm gets a 70, and they don't click. Which, considering their real-life personas, does not actually surprise me. But yeah, just back-and-forth match. Hardy gets a big win over Storm. And then after the match, Billy Kidman attacks Jeff Hardy, comes in, slides in, hits the Kid Crusher on him, and the crowd boos, everybody's unhappy, and this gets a 69. If you notice, I haven't actually announced this match, and if you know the problems I've had with Jeff Hardy the past couple weeks, you know why. And then we have a decently long Helms Dynasty promo, which doesn't actually do that well, which is unfortunate, probably because I actually rated everybody. So, Amber O'Neil cuts a quick promo on Fox saying, Fox wants to be, talk about how she's a, friendly to all the fans. So I know exactly how friendly you've been to all the fans, and that that the fans don't care about wrestling talent. They just care that you have a nice set of these. And she shakes her bit because again, it's 2003. These are not going to be actually book storylines. Then Helms says, reminds people he's the greatest United champion of all time, and at Clash of the Champions, he's going to take care of 2 birds with 1 stone when he and Gigantes destroy the Legend Sting and the so-called Cruiserweight legend Rey Jr. 65, probably not the best promo ever because I gave everybody time, but sometimes these things have to happen. So then in a 8-man tag, we had Sting, Rey Mysterio, and Hart Legacy taking on Helms and Company, and in a decent match, Helms and Company, which is, Helms, Gigantes, Cash, and Reno defeated Sting, Rey Jr., and Hart Legacy in 14:58 when Gigantes pinned Teddy Hart with a chokeslam. This gets a 77. Evans gets a 58. Teddy Hart gets a 55. Rey Mysterio Jr. gets an 86 because he's awesome. Sting gets a 74. Reno gets a 54. Cash gets a 59. Gigantes gets a 59. And Helms gets a 79. But yeah, this is the sort of fun stuff is, I'll just put a fact. There's going to be a 4-way tag match at the pay-per-view involving Cash and Reno, Hart Legacy, Jindrak and Zajiak, and another team I'm blanking on right at the moment. Oh, nope. See, now I feel like an idiot because I know there's another team and I'm just completely blanking on. Anyway, Teddy Hart gets trapped in with Gigantes and that's the end for him. Yeah, I know. And then Helms Legacy celebrates, gets a 66 afterwards. Then we have a babyfaces backstage where they basically put over, they're sick and tired of Deadpool ruining things, of causing issues, and tonight starts the final fight against them. One or the other, Chuck Palumbo will walk out with the world title at the Clash of Champions. Booker T will finally end his feud with Macias, and Goldberg, well, he's facing both Morningstar Lestat in a handicap match, and they're both next. 87, straightforward promo, everybody looks good. And then we had a Flair and Kanyon room, which gets a 91. Flair talks about, at the Clash, he's going to prove what happened, last month at Bash of the Beach with Alex Wright was a fluke, and he's still the greatest wrestler of all time. He's, I'm like a fine wine, I get better with age. And Alex Wright, you haven't even turned from some spoiled grapes, brother. And he talks about, how nobody's better than Kanyon. And after I beat RVD, WCW will be forced to give me a world title shot. This gets a 91 as we move to the actual match, which gets an 85, which is really good. As in a superb match, Rob Van Dam and Alex Wright defeated Ric Flair and Kanyon in 1421 when Rob Van Dam pinned Kanyon with a 5-star frog splash. This gets an 85. Alex Wright gets a 73. RVD gets a 92. Kanyon gets a 92. Ric Flair gets a 78. Just a very good back and forth tag match. But in the end, RVD is able to, get a few hot moves in a row, and is able to get the huge victory over Kanyon as he moves in with the momentum going into their big match at the Clash against each other. So yeah, and this is also a really good match. This is stunningly good. Well, not really stunningly good, but Flair's can still be really good in tag matches where he can carry his load, and both Kanyon and RVD are two of my top actual in-ring guys. And the babyface celebrating afterward gets a 72. So there you go. It's now main event time, I believe. Yeah, wow. I think we have a new best match ever. I'll have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure that's our best match ever. So an exceptional match, Chuck Palumbo, Bill Goldberg, and Booker T defeated Deadpool, Vampiro, Macias, and Morningstar in 2015 when Booker T pinned Morningstar with, it's his Harlem Hangover, it'll be a bookend. So Morningstar gets an 85, Macias gets an 87, Vampiro gets an 88, Booker T gets an 89, Goldberg gets an 89, Chuck Palumbo gets an 85. And basically this is, just a very... think of those great 6-man matches involving Evolution in the mid-2000s, or any random great 6-man tag in that's a Raw Nitro main event, and there's just this back and forth, everybody getting their shots, Goldberg looking strong, Macias throwing people around, Vampiro sneaking and getting his shots, Morningstar looking impressive, doing some flying around, Chuck Palumbo actually hitting his finisher on Vampiro, but the other heels running and saving, but in the end, everything devolves down, but Booker finally gets some sort of measure of a big-time victory over Morningstar after sort of months of feuding with Macias and gets the pinfall right in the middle of the ring. Like I said, this gets a 97, which is freaking great. And then we move on to the ending segment, which is just these guys all brawling, which gets a 90. Which probably I just should have done. If I would have ended with the 97, that probably would have been our best show ever, but choices were made. Oh well. But yeah, just a really good show. Yeah, 92. Probably not our, maybe our best show, but maybe not our best show. I'm not 100% sure on that one. I'd have to double check that one. But yeah, let's see what Raw did, and then we'll double check a couple things, go over the final card for the pay-per-view, and go from there. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. As this loads for me. Got loading. So first, let's check out the mail. Joni Alder. Okay, yeah, I see what you're trying to do, Joni. Up to 2.09, which is really good. And let's look at Raw. Okay, so Raw. So again, we got a 92. Raw. Okay, so we actually outdid Raw a little bit. So, Lita and Jillian Hall defeated Molly Hall and Jackie Gata. The Undertaker defeated Ron Waterman. DDP promo, Steve McMahon promo, National Confrontation, Steve Austin promo, Regal. Oh, and they were in Wyoming. Okay. Brock Lesnar, Quick and Sexy defeating DDP and Wild Wicked. Kurt Angle squash over Blue Boy. Steve Austin defeated Valvies by DQ in a 98. Big Show defeated Kevin Nash in a 95. Triple H and Chris Benoit defeated Chris Jericho and Shawn Michaels in a freaking 99. And they get, 3.02 rating. But including on, where are they? Paramount. Okay, 1.21. Okay. So actually, we did really slightly better. Let's see here. Osuma Kido hung up his boots. Okay, that's unfortunate for him. Okay, that's fine. Paul Damon go down loan. Have fun in Japan, I guess. Let's see where our storylines are as we sort of set things up. Okay, so Flair for the Old is at an 85. Cruiserweight Fun is at a 74. Goldberg, basically the Goldberg Booker T versus is at a 94. Helms Legacy is at a 75. Kanyon versus RVD is at an 83. Kidman versus Hardy is at a 78. Tag Wars is at a 75. The Helms versus Sting and Ray Freed is at a 77. Vampiro versus Palumbo is at a 94. Women's Title Showdown is at a 56. So yeah, really good. 100 Prestige, 88% momentum. And yeah, next, we got Clash of the Champions in 5 days. And let's see here, is there anything else? Just as a quick check, let's see who's hot. Okay, so yeah, Macias, RVD, Styles, Palumbo, Helms, who's not Lawler. Okay, but that's basically just because I haven't really used her. Medical-wise, again, Ace and Animal are both suspended. Conan still is out with chronic back pain. Stock Signer I put back on vacation. And both Stacy and Tori are filming, which is unfortunate. So yeah. But as one quick final hype drop, let's go over the lineup for Clash of the Champions, which will be the next show. And we have Vampiro versus Chuck Colombo for the world title. We have Booker Macias in a Falls Count Anywhere non-sanctioned match. We have AMW defending their World Tag Team titles versus Air Raid. We have in a big tag match, Shane Helms Gigantes taking on Sting and Rey Jr. We have Jamie Noel defending the Cruiser title versus Yang. We have Angel Fox versus Amber O'Neal. We have Rob Van Dam versus Kanyon in a sort of default number one contendership match. We have Alex Wright versus Ric Flair. We have off their sort of mini feud that's been happening since they helped Alex Wright. Jason Jett and Paul London teaming up to take on Jeff Jarrett and Shane Douglas. We have in a handicap match, but who's actually at a handicap here, as Goldberg takes on Morningstar and Lestat. And then in a four-way tag match, we have the Hart Legacy versus Cash and Reno versus Jindrak and Stasiak versus Storm and Awesome. And that's it for now. Officially, unofficially, we also have Kidman versus Hardy, but I'm not going to set that as pre-booked because, well, it's Jeff Hardy. Which I know probably tells you I shouldn't be booking Jeff Hardy that often, but unfortunately, there's not much more we can do. But yeah, and as one other quick thing, here's the Saturday night tapings I did. So we started out with Gail Kim defeating Jordan Cole. We had Kid Romeo and Jonathan Toro defeating Norman Smiley and Lash Rue. Just teamed up Joro and Romeo just to see if there's anything there. No real chemistry, so that's unfortunate. More Nitro recaps, and then the main event, we had Jindrak and Stasiak defeating Blitzkrieg and Scott Taylor. So really solid show there. And then in the other Saturday night taping, we had Celine Cartier defeating Lacey. We had Clash of the Champions Control Center. We had Blitzkrieg defeating Shannon Moore, just to give him some momentum. Jonathan Toro squashing Norman Smiley. And then in our main event for the TV title, Tajiri defeated Reno, which means Tajiri, if we look at our titles, Tajiri is now at is now at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 defenses. Yeah, it's just silly, but I mean, unfortunately, I don't have much more to do for him at the moment, so why not keep him on the secondary show and put him in good matches? But, that's it for now. Not like the most exciting show here, but what can you do when it's a go-home show and there's not much going on the actual angles? Just lots of setup. But anyway, that's it for now. So if you like the show, go and give it a like. Comment below on anything you're enjoying and not enjoying. And subscribe to our channel for lots of TEW 2020 content, including this series, my MLW 2004 Ruthless Aggression series, my Women's Revolution in 2010 series, the Cornellverse series, and of course WCW 1993 with no Eric Bischoff. But that's it for now. So see you at Clash of the Champions. But talk to you later, and adios.